is the first day of the rest of my life. Endless, extraordinary. What if? Can you believe we made him? He's got a gun! Drop it!
Let me jump.
You saved his life.
Is it possible we've met before?
You were literally living the dream.
Premieres Monday, September 20th on NBC.
Later, Jimmy Fallon welcomes Pete Davidson. NBC Tonight.
Lithia Subaru. First segment of supports tonight's first segment of local news that matters. Lithia Subaru of Fresno. Subaru. Confidence in motion. KC24 News begins with your forecast first from your local weather authority.
I'm Chief Meteorologist AJ Fox. Our current temperatures to show exactly what I'm talking about. Temperatures are just now barely getting below 90 degrees in Fresno. Our heat advisory remains in effect until Thursday night, and the excessive heat warning outside of our viewing area continues till tomorrow night as well. Satellite picture nice and clear out there, a little bit of thin cloudiness over the mountains. Tomorrow there's going to be a bit of haze. There'll be an increase in clouds coming later on in the day. Still triple digits, but that'll be the last one for a while, and then we're going to spend a little time in the 90s through the weekend and a good portion of next week. I'll have your complete forecast coming up. KC24 News at 11 starts right now.
Local news that matters. This is KC24 News.
What exactly am I being censured for?
You don't want to be held liable for any more of his behaviors.
The Fresno Unified School District Board censures one of its own members for a second time, an unprecedented move that one member says is a matter of safety. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Stephanie Barugian.
And I'm Alexander Balakian. New tonight, the Fresno Unified School Board voting to move forward with a second censure of trustee Major Terry Sladek. It comes 2 weeks after his 2019 censure was lifted. In that first board meeting, the explosive filibuster where Sladek refused to stop talking and the board decided to abruptly end the meeting. Kirsten Mitchell in studio tonight with more on the second censure and the tension that filled the room. Good evening.
Alex, on tonight's meeting was much more civilized since the chaos 2 weeks ago, but it's clear the board is still at odds with trustee Major Terry Sladek, so much so they're moving forward with a censure.
Our attorney would like to speak to you. First Amendment rights of the public.
2 weeks after an ugly end to Fresno Unified's first school board meeting of the year.
There's no choice. I'm going to have to close this meeting.
The board decided to move forward in censuring trustee Major Terry Sladek once again, just weeks after his 2019 censure was lifted. If the censure is similar to his last, the public condemnation would remove Sladek from overseeing committees and require him to be chaperoned on school property, among other changes. While formal allegations are yet to be drafted, on Wednesday, the board described Sladek as showing repeated offensive and threatening behavior toward the board, superintendent, and staff.
I refuse to be in a place where I feel unsafe. And right now, I feel unsafe.
Trustee Sladek calls the censure discussion retaliatory and in response to a complaint he filed with the Fresno County District Attorney's Public Integrity Unit, accusing 4 trustees, as well as the superintendent, of violating California education laws. When asked what it would take for them to get along, Sladek said this.
For this board to realize that diversity actually means letting the retired Marine, who's the only one who's diverse on this board. Remember, there's 5 people who look the same, and then there's me. Which one's diversity?
As the back and forth continues.
What exactly am I being censured for?
You don't want to be held liable for any more of his behaviors.
There's hope among some to get back on track.
I really hope that we can move forward in a way that is more exemplary of the leadership that we do have on this board.
So now a subcommittee will draft up the official censure documents to be voted on in October. Trustee Sladek says he'll wait to see what the alleged violations are before he'll comment. He's also the subject of a recall campaign. Reporting live in the studio, Kirsten Mitchell, KC24, local news that matters.
Kirsten, thank you. In continuing coverage, Fresno awards its first licenses for recreational cannabis dispensaries to open. But don't expect to see any storefronts just yet. Our Adrian Thomas brings us more details from Fresno City Hall.
Yeah, 3 licenses were awarded by the city manager in each of the city council districts, with a total of 21 licenses awarded citywide. Now, the mayor or city council can appeal any of the licenses awarded, but one dispensary owner tells us tonight they're ready to get the ball rolling. With millions in tax revenue projected in Fresno from recreational marijuana, the city and cannabis entrepreneurs are ready to light up the local economy. Tim Dodd is the founder and CEO of LA-based Sweet Flower, which is set to open its doors at this building on Olive Avenue, northeast of downtown.
There'll be a series of next steps, including conditional use permits and other approvals that we'll go through. We've done this a lot in other jurisdictions.
Dodd says there is still a ways to go before his team can start building their storefront, but is ready to make it happen once other permits are issued. Dodd says Sweet Flower will be hyper-focused on giving back to the community.
Part of localism is really important. Economic enabler. We want to hire locally, and that isn't just the staff, but also contractors and security and all the ancillary kind of things that we do with the business.
According to city documents, the mayor or city council have 15 days to appeal any of the licenses issued, which would prompt a public hearing on that particular dispensary's license. But Dodd feels Sweet Flower's opening date is near.
I will say as soon as possible. I'm really excited about Fresno. So, we want to work very collaboratively with the city and the staff.
Now, we reached out to some of the city council members who sit on the council's cannabis subcommittee for comment. They told us they will comment tomorrow once the subcommittee meets to review these initial licenses. Head on over to our website, yourcentralvalley.com, for a full list of the names and locations of the first dispensaries to open in Fresno. For now, reporting in Fresno, Adrian Thomas, KC24, local news that matters.
Tonight, a suspected killer is in custody after a man was gunned down in Farmersville right in front of a pregnant woman and 2 kids. Deputies were called out shortly after 5:30 last night in the area of Highway 198 and Road 156 following a report that a man had been shot. Deputies arrived to find 24-year-old Evan Vasio suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. He later died at the hospital. Deputies say Vasio was stopped at a red light when the suspect pulled up beside him and opened fire into the vehicle. A pregnant woman and 2 small children were in that car with Vasio, but luckily not hit in the shooting. The suspect, 20-year-old Victor Hernandez of Tipton, was arrested during a traffic stop. The incident remains under investigation.
A suspect in custody tonight after reportedly leading deputies on a pursuit across Fresno, hitting 3 innocent drivers along the way. It all started about 1:30 when sheriff's deputies say they tried to conduct a traffic stop on Highway 168 near Shields. They say the driver refused to pull over, led them on a pursuit, at times going over 100 miles an hour. They say the suspect sideswiped 2 innocent drivers near Willow and Bullard, then hit another car near Fresno State.
A simple traffic stop that escalated into a pursuit. He was putting hundreds of motorists' lives in danger the way that he was driving, and we're really lucky that nobody was seriously hurt and we were able to get him into custody before he could do any more damage to anybody.
The chase ended when 2 deputies rammed their vehicles into his, pinning it along a curb and tree where they finally took him into custody. The suspect now facing
City of Fresno delaying its weekly COVID testing for unvaccinated employees. It was supposed to be rolled out last Friday. Now it's set to start on Monday. More than 4,000 employees must show proof of vaccination or get tested every Monday and Friday.
So we want to make sure that as we roll this out on the 13th, that we ensure that we have obviously the safety and health guidelines to conform with, but also that we don't, stretch our folks thin.
Now, the city is still navigating on how to test thousands of employees each week and figuring out what will happen to those employees as they await results. Only 38% of city employees have a COVID vaccination.
In Community Matters, preparations underway in Clovis to mark the 20th anniversary of the 9/11 terrorist attacks. Over the past 2 decades, an annual memorial has been held in Clovis. This year, organizers say the ceremony will continue as an in-person event and will be streamed on Facebook. The 20th anniversary also features an expansion of the local memorial. Phase 2 includes new statues representing the military and the police.
That when people come out here, it's almost cathartic. It's being able to remember a great tragedy, but also remember the resilience of the human spirit and the American spirit.
One of the new statues depicts Officer Moira Smith, who was the first to call in the attacks to police headquarters on September 11th.
She helped thousands of people escape the Twin Towers before they collapsed on her, and she was the only female officer that died that day.
The 9/11 commemoration is this Saturday at the memorial in Clovis. It's free to attend. It begins at 8:46 a.m., the exact time the first plane hit the first tower on that fateful day in New York City 20 years ago. Coming up, Governor Newsom getting a high-profile endorsement with the recall less than a week away.
We are here to say today we fight for Gavin Newsom.
The vice president joining Newsom in the Bay Area, calling for voters to reject the recall. And why you're being asked to keep your power usage down through tomorrow night. We'll have that story coming up.
Your weather headlines for tonight. We got one more triple-digit day tomorrow, and then temperatures do drop off a little bit for the weekend, and it looks like we're going to see less smoke in those days, too. Your 4-day allergy forecast brought to you by Boz Allergy will be high or very high into the weekend. Grass and quinopods, the predominant pollens. I'll have your complete forecast as KC 24 News continues.
Hi. You don't know me yet, but I'm your best friend.
Your running buddy.
Your curious companion.
Your source of joy.
And now through September 19th, KC 24 needs your help to clear the shelters.
Head to a shelter near you to adopt a pet or donate online to help your local shelter heroes and animals like me.
Join KC 24 as we clear the shelters now through September 19th. To learn more, go to yourcentralvalley.com. Your forever friend is waiting.
For those ready to answer adventure's highest calling, we've built our most capable Subaru yet. With sure-footed symmetrical all-wheel drive, 9.5 inches of ground clearance, and turbocharged climbing power. Discover Adventure Elevated, the all-new 2022 Subaru Outback Wilderness.
Get to Subaru of Fresno, where every new Subaru comes with complimentary maintenance included.
Hey everyone, tonight we have an all-new show. Pete Davidson will be here. Meredith Hagner will be joining us. And we have an in-studio performance from Baby Keem. It's a great show tonight.
New Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. Tonight on NBC.
Owning a house is and down payments. It's an oasis, a restaurant, a theater. It's home. At Golden One, we get it. Big or small, we work with you to reach your goals. And as a not-for-profit credit union, we'll help you find better loans and rates, so owning your home is more possible than ever. So join us. Let's make your dream home happen. KC 24 News is brought to you in part by A&W Restaurants. Now, AMS certified Chief Meteorologist AJ Fox with your local weather authority forecast.
Today we got into triple digits yet again, 4 degrees away from the record high just for today. But that's not what we're focused on. 104 today, that means it adds to our total so far for the year. I've been showing you this graph for a long time. We started off in May, got a few in June, a lot in July, not quite as many in August, and we're still getting triple digits in September. Our grand total so far is 66 triple-digit days. 63 is number 2, and that's in the year 1984. And then you got to go back into the 19th century to actually find the next one lower. Take a look at our temperatures currently. Lots of 70s, like in Visalia, Hanford, Madera. But look at Fresno, still 89 degrees. Pretty warm out there. The heat advisory lasts until tomorrow, and it will expire tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. So once we get past the real hot stuff tomorrow, looks like that'll be it, at least for a little while. Look at our Valley Cam from our own studios, and this is time-lapse photography, and you can see as the sun goes down, the layer of smoke that is still right there, just real close to the ground. But otherwise, our skies were pretty clear today, at least over much of the valley. Looking at our live radar, our skies are nice and clear. We saw a little bit of cloudiness up over the mountain areas, very little, but according to our Futurecast model, there's a couple of things that are going to be happening. One, we're going to have some smoke still up by the big wildfires, but notice through Saturday, watch how we go in the blue area, which leans toward moderate, and then it turns that light blue color, and then it gets clearing later on this weekend and into the middle part of the weekend. Then we're looking at up in Northern California. Watch what happens over the next 48 hours. We get increasing clouds and then the possibility of some showers moving through. And maybe that'll be enough to help put out some of the wildfires, or at least help the firefighters who are there. For us, we're going to have some clouds and, yeah, the isolated shower or two, and maybe even a thunderstorm, which is not necessarily good news, because if you get a lightning strike and not enough rain to put out whatever fire that lightning strike may start, that could be a problem for us. So we'll be on the lookout for that this weekend. 68 in Delano, 67 in Pixley, 68 for Lemoore, Huron 71, same in 5 Points, San Joaquin 68, 70 in Oakhurst, 68 for Chowchilla, Dos Palos, Merced 69, and 70 for Los Banos with a high there of 100. 101 in Merced, 103 in Fireball, Mendota 104, San Joaquin 105, same in Selma, 106 in 5 Points, Huron, Lemoore, and Hanford, Corcoran all 105, 104 in Visalia and Tulare, Pixley 105, 104 in Porterville, Delano 103. Air quality, moderate to unhealthy for sensitive groups, and your renewable solar forecast. Well, those numbers are going to be pretty good. We're going to see a little cloudiness coming in late Thursday, and that'll bring our numbers down a little on Friday, but we'll already start recovering on Saturday. Tonight, a couple of thin clouds, and that's it. Still pretty warm. 75 will be the overnight low. A northwest wind up to 10 miles per hour. Then tomorrow, clouds will be in the morning, then a break, and then more clouds later on in the afternoon. I'm looking for a high of 103, and that would add to our total so far this year and make it number 67, in fact. And hopefully that'll be it, because after that, temperatures do get into the 90s, and we're going to stay in the mid-90s. All of these 90s, 97 or 98, they're all still above average, but they are obviously less than 100 degrees. Your regional forecast is available on our website at yourcentralvalley.com, so please go check it out there. Alex and Stephanie, back to you.
Hey, Jay, thanks so much. September is Hunger Action Month, and our parent company Nexstar is working with Feeding America to fight hunger here in the Valley by raising money for the Central California Food Bank. Now, if you'd like to help out, there is a link at the top of our homepage, yourcentralvalley.com. Every donation helps out. Well, coming up next in sports, the Fresno Grizzlies were unable to play their game in Modesto tonight.
Andrew Martin joining us now with that story. Andrew.
Yeah, and after such an emotional night last night when they clinched a playoff spot. A reminder tonight that we are still in a pandemic. The reason for no game tonight? COVID-19. We'll talk about it next in Sports Central.
Each year, someone wins a Granville Home of Hope. This year, the keys could be yours, but you have to buy a ticket. And to drive this Fresno Lexus, you have to buy a 2-ticket bundle. Another winner will be handed the keys October 13th on ksee 24.
Hit the road for a change of scenery. An epic amount of fun? It's found around every turn. So grab the wheel. Your next big Toyota adventure is waiting. Get $500 cash back on RAV4, Highlander, and Highlander Hybrid. All Toyotas come with Toyota Safety Sense and Toyota Care Standard. Grab the keys, come on, let's go. Place. Toyota. Let's go places.
Hello, I am Betty Chu, the first Chinese-American female attorney serving governments in California and a member of the Constitutional Revision Commission. Our Constitution and corrupt governor. This is about Gavin Newsom, not political party. Democrats, Republicans, Independents, unite to support Larry Elder for governor.
Recall Newsom. Elect Elder.
For the 2021 California recall election, all Californians will be able to vote safely from home. Every active registered voter will receive a vote-by-mail ballot with a unique barcode. You can track it using Where's My Ballot, and you'll receive automatic notifications by text, email, or voice call to let you know the status of your ballot once you mail it, drop it off at your polling place, or at a drop box. Vote-by-mail ballots. Simple, safe, secure, counted. Learn more at vote.ca.gov.
KC 24 News is brought to you in part by Serve Pro of Clovis. Now, Sports Central, presented by Toyota.
A day after the Fresno Grizzlies officially clinched a playoff spot, their first playoff spot in 3 years, they were unable to get back on the field. COVID-19 forced Wednesday's game at Modesto to be postponed. Here's the official statement from the Grizzlies. Tonight's game has been postponed to allow for additional testing and contact tracing of members of the Modesto Nuts organization. We are adhering to minor league baseball's health and safety protocols and will practice caution as we follow the guidance of experts. Further updates will be provided as available. Wednesday night's game has been rescheduled for Sunday afternoon, turning Sunday into a doubleheader. That's the last day of this series. As of right now, the teams are planning on continuing the series Thursday night. Elsewhere in the California League, Lake Elsinore beats Visalia 5-2. That's 3 straight losses for the Rawhide, who are now 33-77 this season. Jamison Hill was assigned to the Rawhide on Wednesday. He's expected to be the starting pitcher on Thursday. Hill is an ex-Bulldog. He pitched at Fresno State this spring. The Diamondbacks signed him as a free agent in July. More baseball news. Wednesday was induction day for the National Baseball Hall of Fame. Derek Jeter was officially enshrined. He played for the Yankees for 20 seasons. He won 5 World Series championships and had 3,465 hits, 6th most in Major League history. Jeter was not a unanimous selection to the Hall of Fame. One writer left him off the ballot. So he received the second highest percentage of votes in Major League Baseball history, 99.74%. Mariano Rivera, his former teammate, was voted in unanimously, the only one thus far. In 2016, Ken Griffey Jr. received 99.32% of the vote. That was the highest percentage at the time. Prior to those 3, Fresno native Tom Seaver received the highest percentage of votes. He was inducted in 1992, and he was named on 425 of 430 ballots. Finally, speaking of numbers, it's no secret that Davante Adams wants to be the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL. He said at the end of July, he's earned that right. On Wednesday, he was asked if he'll get a new contract before the start of the season. His answer, quote, "No chance, no." The Packers open their season on Sunday. They'll play New Orleans in Jacksonville. The game was moved because of Hurricane Ida. Giants beat the Rockies 7-4. Dodgers lose to the Cardinals 5-4. And that's your look at sports.
Allard's Art is your local source for all of your drawing and painting needs, from blank canvas to professional framing, plus the Valley's largest assortment of fine pens. Allard's Art on Blackstone and Barstow.
For more information on this business, go to yourcentralvalley.com and click on Central Valley Local.
The sun has always powered life. And now it powers our latest innovation to heat and cool your home more efficiently. Introducing the world's only solar-powered home energy system, which saves you up to half off your heating and cooling bill.
The future of home comfort is here now at Donald P. Dick Air Conditioning. Get the latest in home comfort and energy savings with Mr. Cool. Get up to $13.75 in rebates or special financing.
You can have straight teeth in about 180 days. Dr. Tom Wigg is Fresno's only senior master provider of fast braces, a unique new patented method of achieving straight teeth in half the time at half the price. Dr. Tom and his experienced staff at Fast Dental Fresno can get your smile on fast. Your treatment could be done before we take our masks off. Join our new retainer club for same-day retainer replacement. Make this your smile for a lifetime year. Call now for a free exam and consultation, 433-6730. Fast Dental in Park Crossing Village.
Shoot.
What's wrong?
I think I'm down on my last inhaler.
Don't worry, you can refill it and get it delivered using the Kaiser Permanente app.
Smart.
Refill most prescriptions online and get delivery for no cost.
I knew about Hand and Stone for a while, and then my husband had given me a gift card. It took me a while to really make that appointment, but once I did, I was hooked. Caitlin is my massage therapist. She is just wonderful. She just really figures out what areas need to be worked on. I'm like, how did you know that was sore?
Right now, get a Hand and Stone massage or facial for $79.95.
If I could, I'd just move in.
Begin your future here with life-changing instruction. Life skills for success. Lifelong relationships. Join us on campus or online. California Christian College. Education with an anchor.
Now YourCentralValley.com pros who know.
Increase the efficiency of your home's closets. We specialize in both walk-in and reach-in designs that fit your budget and style. Call now for a free in-home consultation.
For more expert advice, go to YourCentralValley.com/pros who know.
This is KC24 News at 11.
Due to our triple-digit heat and the demand for electricity, a flex alert has been extended until tomorrow evening. You're being asked to conserve energy between the hours of 4 p.m. and 9 p.m. by avoiding the use of major appliances and turning off all unnecessary lights. Just days ahead of next week's recall election, Vice President Kamala Harris made a pit stop in the Bay Area today.
Harris returning home to join the governor on the campaign trail. Our Ashley Zavala in the Bay Area with more on the rally.
This rally was rescheduled after the original one had to be canceled a couple of weeks ago when Kamala Harris had to turn her attention to Afghanistan. But by having her here, Team Newsom says this is just one of the ways the campaign is making sure every living, breathing Californian knows this recall is happening.
We are here to say today we fight for Gavin Newsom.
Vice President Kamala Harris came home to the Bay Area for her friend and fellow Democrat Governor Gavin Newsom. With less than a week before the election date, Harris says by keeping Newsom in office, Californians would defend the state's progressive values.
We fight for dreamers. We fight for women.
About 100 yards back from the stage where the vice president stood, a group of protesters chanted and waved the flag of Afghanistan.
Free, free Afghanistan.
Harris's visit comes about 2 weeks after the Biden administration rushed to evacuate Americans and Afghan allies from the country now taken over by the Taliban. The vice president's appearance at a previously scheduled No on the Recall rally was canceled after the Kabul airport was attacked.
No more Taliban.
But back at the rally, the governor grateful Harris stopped by to support him, along with other high-ranking Democrats in state office.
Because my name may appear on the ballot, but we're all on.
Because we know that so much is at stake, so many are counting on us, and there is so much good that we can do.
On the docket for Team Newsom, President Joe Biden is expected to visit California not only to tour wildfire devastation, but to also rally with the governor. Details on that visit have not yet been set. In San Leandro, Ashley Zavala, KC24 Local News that Matters.
Also in the Bay Area, candidate for governor John Cox responding to the vice president's visit, saying the Newsom campaign is about scaring people into keeping him in office, adding that Newsom and Harris are unwilling to address what he says is a rising crime rate coupled with rising taxes.
Well, Mr. Newsom and Ms. Harris preach all about scarcity, fear, limits, rationing. I'm talking about taking an approach that gives the people of this state abundance, gives us enough water and electricity to live on, gives us affordable housing, gives us protection from crime and from wildfires. That's what the governor of this state ought to be doing.
And again, the special election, September 14th. You can also mail in your ballots up until that date. Well, still to come, a unique opportunity to learn all about the sky at night.
The Dark Sky Festival is back for a virtual audience. How you can take part next.
Here's what you need to know about the September 14th recall. Voting yes elects an anti-vaccine Trump Republican. Voting no keeps Gavin Newsom fighting the pandemic based on science, compassion, and common sense. And here's the thing, if you don't vote, we could have an anti-vax Republican governor of California. So do your part to stop the spread. Every voter will receive a ballot in the mail. mail your ballot, or vote in person by September 14th. Vote no on the Republican recall.
This message is for the survivors of abuse by the Catholic Church.
If you or someone you love were a victim of sexual abuse by a priest, any employee, or other Catholic Church official, you could be eligible for financial compensation after years of suffering in silence. Call Right to Fight now.
If you or a family member were a victim of abuse by an authority figure in the Catholic Church, make the confidential free call now. 800-424-. Deadlines. Your claim may not be accepted if you wait.
Before treating your chronic migraine, 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more, you're not the only one with questions about Botox. Botox prevents headaches in adults with chronic migraine before they even start, with about 10 minutes of treatment once every 3 months. So ask your doctor if Botox is right for you, and if a sample is available.
Effects of Botox may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs of a life-threatening condition. Side effects may include allergic reactions, neck and injection site pain, fatigue, and headache. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects.
In a survey, 92% of current users said they wish they talked to their doctor and started Botox sooner. Plus, right now, you may pay $0 for Botox. Ask your doctor about Botox today.
Hey, you may be in Fresno, but now you can get the authentic taste of Philly at Carl's Jr. Juicy charbroiled Angus beef topped with thinly sliced ribeye, melty cheese, roasted peppers, and onions. It's the all-new Philly Cheesesteak Angus Thick Burger. You can even upgrade your breakfast to the new Philly Cheesesteak Burrito with fluffy eggs. Turns out, you don't have to go all the way to the East Coast to get the real deal. Just pop down to your local Carl's Jr. and fill up on the new Philly Cheesesteaks. Feed your happy.
When you're desperate and hopeless, when you just can't take anymore, when it feels like there is nowhere to turn, Sierra Meadows Behavioral Health is here to help. Our residential, inpatient, and outpatient programs are here to support you with group therapy, personal counseling, and medication in life's difficult times.
There is hope. Let us show you the way at Sierra Meadows Behavioral Health.
It's almost time to grab your cowboy hat, your boots, maybe a beer, because Boots in the Park is back.
We are live with what people can expect and who you might see perform at Granite Park. All that and more tomorrow morning on Sunrise.
The 8th Annual Dark Sky Festival is kicking off this Friday. It's your chance to learn all about the night sky. The event is virtual, it's free. Organizers say there's a lot to learn and see about the stars and planets, provided you're willing to do a little driving.
And especially if you just get on the outskirts and head towards, Shaver Lake or Pine Flat or whatever. Just as long as you get outside of those city boundaries, away from the lights, the sky will really open up and you'll be amazed at how many stars you'll be able to see.
And to take part in the free Dark Sky Festival, you can find a link at yourcentralvalley.com.
It's a fun thing to do, as long as the smoke isn't.
No, I don't think it's going to be all right. Today was a little hazy. I think after tomorrow, really hot day, we're going to see our smoke improve quite a bit on the valley floor. And we even have some rain in Northern California maybe happening. Keep your fingers crossed on how that's going to play out. But 103 tomorrow brings our annual total of triple-digit days to 67, a new record. And then hopefully we say goodbye to him forever.
Wouldn't that be nice?
I can't promise that just yet.
I know.
I wish you could.
All right, that does it for us. Thanks for joining us.
Good night.
Keep yourself and your family safe with immediate information from KC24. Download the yourcentralvalley.com app to receive breaking news alerts and live streaming information from state and local sources. Download the app now.
So